Good morning, Freedom Center. Again, I am just excited to be here with you. I miss you guys, Dina and I and our family. We are praying for you and your family. Again, in the midst of some pretty hard stuff, we're hearing some pretty wonderful testimonies of your kindness, your salt, your light affecting this community. And I just encourage you in that. Continue to be everything Jesus would be in your neighborhood, at your job, or if you're working from home, or you're in your correspondence. Remember, there's a fact of information. There's a fact of spiking things because the test results are finally in, diagnosed cases and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of bad facts, but remember, in the midst of all of these things that are factual, there's some pretty great truths that are going on. I don't know about you, but I would rather live by truth during times like this than just merely facts. Don't deny the facts, but don't deny the truth. The truth is we're one day closer to the backside of this. We're one day closer to this being over with. As we're filming this right now, there is evidence that the whole Wuhan thing is subsiding where it first began. So the Wuhan virus, the COVID-19, it's a politically charged, the sickness that we're all talking about. So I'm not a racist. I'm not on one side or the other. Just, the sickness thing, this virus. The only places in the world, as I speak, that have Apple stores that are open, guess where it is? China, where it all started. So 8 weeks ago, they're in lockdown. Today, they're in the Apple store buying the latest products. So we're one day closer to the end of this. I hope you feel that. It feels like, I don't know when this pain is going to end. And the answer is when it ends. In the meantime, let's stay attentive to what God is saying. So let's get back to this. Psalms chapter 91, we read verse 1. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest. Take a deep breath. Say with me, rest. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Look at verse 2 today. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge, my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. And all of those things are true. I will say of the Lord, He's my refuge, He's my fortress, He's my God, and I trust Him. Like, that's where peace is right now. That's where truth is deeper than fact. That's where eternity is speaking in the midst of a lot of temporal noise. But I want to focus in on one thing today, and that is, what are you saying about this? What are your words? What is your heart overflowing with? In this situation, in Psalms 91, where he's talking about pestilence and war and locust and famine, he says, I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Think about that. My refuge, that place where I hide, where I'm safe, where nothing can get to me. It's my refuge. If you have a refuge in your house, maybe a man cave in the basement, the reason it's a man cave is because the kids aren't allowed down there, right? The reason the garage is the man cave is because the kids aren't allowed to be out there. So there's a refuge in the Lord. There's a place of safety in Him, but it's more than that. He's also my fortress. A refuge is a place where you hide. A fortress is a place from which you fight. Fighting this in your heart, in your mind, in the physical world with prayer. We're supposed to be driving back darkness, not fretting over it. So he's both my shelter, but He's also my fortress. He's that place from which I fight. Now, a fortress is a place with large, high walls, and the purpose for those large, high walls is not just to keep people out, it's to be at advantage. You're not out of sight from the top of the wall, but from primitive weapons, you are out of reach. I can't throw a spear 40 feet in the air and stab you. It's just, you have an advantage because of your height. And I'd say this, in spiritual warfare, you have an advantage because of your height. You have an advantage because of your proximity to heaven. You have an advantage because you pray from heaven. You're seated with Christ, in heavenly realms. You don't pray from earth to heaven. Literally, according to Ephesians, you pray from heaven to earth. You're seated in Christ in the heavenly realms, and you can declare things that only heaven's allowed to declare because of where you sit. So He is both your refuge and your fortress and your God in whom you trust. And that's where peace is. If you don't have peace right now, it's not a fact problem. Let me just say it honestly to you. It's a truth problem. I'm not saying facts shouldn't just not be ignored. I'm not saying that. I'm saying truth cannot be ignored, and you have peace. We will get through this as a church, as a family, as a community, as a nation, and as the world. We will get through this. And so the Lord today is your refuge. He's your fortress. He's your God, and you can trust Him. You find that place, you're safe. We're praying for you, as always, if you need anything at all. 810-629-5261. The church is ready to serve you, pray with you, help you through this time, and we will be together again soon. God bless you.